The African sky roared, lightning split the darkness, rain lashed down, turning the savannah into a sea of mud.
Huddled fearfully in the jeep, Kofi, a young boy on safari with his parents, felt the storm's unexpected and violent transformation of their adventure into a terrifying ordeal.
A flash flood surged across the savannah, engulfing their vehicle. Kofi, ripped from his parents' grasp, was swept away by the torrent. He clung desperately to a piece of driftwood, the storm's fury echoing the terror in his heart.
When the storm finally subsided, leaving behind an eerie silence, Kofi lay exhausted on the muddy ground. He was alone. His parents were gone.
Kofi, small and vulnerable, stumbled through the wreckage of the flood. Fear gnawed at him, a constant companion. The vast savannah, once a source of wonder, now loomed large and menacing.
He cried out for his parents, his voice lost in the immensity of the plains. Exhausted, he collapsed beneath the shade of an acacia tree, the enormity of his loss washing over him.
As darkness fell, bringing with it a new wave of fear, Kofi felt a strange presence near him. He looked up, his eyes wide with a mixture of terror and hope. A pair of golden eyes glinted in the darkness. Kofi, his heart pounding, found himself face to face with a magnificent lioness. Her amber eyes, however, held no malice, only a curious warmth.
She nudged him gently with her nose, her low rumble a soothing balm to his fear. This was Nala, a lioness who had recently lost her own cubs.
Something in Kofi, perhaps his vulnerability, stirred a primal instinct within her. She saw in him not prey, but a lost soul in need of comfort.
Guided by a mother's compassion, Nala led Kofi to her den, a hidden sanctuary amongst the rocks. She shared her warmth, her milk, her protection.
Kofi, surrounded by Nala's powerful presence, felt a flicker of hope ignite within him. He snuggled close to her, drawing strength from her warmth. The savannah, no longer a source of fear, was slowly becoming his home. Years passed. Kofi grew, his skin tanned by the African sun, his hair bleached blonde. He learned the ways of the savannah, his senses honed by necessity.
He could track a gazelle with the precision of a seasoned hunter, his bare feet moving silently over the dry earth. He mimicked the lion's roar, his voice echoing across the plains.
Kofi was no longer a scared little boy. He was a child of the wild, strong, agile, and fearless.
Nala, his protector, became his teacher, his confidant. She taught him the language of the wild, the subtle cues, the unspoken communication.
Kofi learned to read the rustling of leaves, the warning calls of birds, the scent of danger carried by the wind. He could hunt alongside his lion family, his agility and cunning a match for their brute strength. He was one of them, accepted, loved, protected.
Yet a part of him yearned for something more, a connection to the world he had left behind.
As Kofi grew older, he became increasingly aware of a world beyond the savannah. The distant rhythmic drumming of the Maasai warriors, the colorful patterns of their clothing glimpsed through the tall grasses, sparked a curiosity within him.
He would watch them from afar, these tall, proud people who moved with a grace and power that resonated with him. He observed their rituals, their hunts, their intricate social structure.
Kofi, raised by lions, felt an undeniable pull towards his own kind.
One day, a group of researchers, their jeep kicking up dust, ventured into Kofi's territory. He watched them from a distance, his curiosity battling his instinct to stay hidden.
Their language, a jumble of unfamiliar sounds, intrigued him. He saw tools, books, objects he couldn't comprehend, yet felt strangely drawn to. The sight of these humans, so different from the Maasai, ignited a spark of recognition within him, a faint echo of a life he could barely remember. Kofi, emboldened by his curiosity, began to approach the researchers' campsite.
I would leave them small gifts, a perfectly ripe mango, a smooth, polished stone, a feather shed by a rare bird.
The researchers, initially wary, were astonished. Who was this boy who moved with the grace of a wild animal, yet seemed to extend a hand of friendship?
We left him gifts in return, fruit, tools, clothing.
Kofi, fascinated by these objects, began to bridge the gap between two worlds. Communication was a challenge, a slow dance of gestures and expressions. The researchers, linguists by profession, were determined to understand Kofi's story.
We taught him basic words, phrases, concepts.
Kofi, his mind sharp and adaptable, absorbed knowledge like a sponge. He learned about his parents, about the world beyond the savannah, about the life he had once known. A profound sadness washed over him as he understood the finality of his parents' fate. Yet there was also a sense of relief, of closure. The researchers, recognizing Kofi's intelligence and his yearning for connection, offered to take him back with them to civilization. It was a difficult decision for Kofi. The savannah was all he had ever known. Nala, his family.
Yet the pull of my human heritage, the desire to learn, to understand, was too strong to ignore.
He looked at Nala, her amber eyes filled with a deep, knowing sadness. She nuzzled him gently, as if giving him her blessing.
Soft nuzzle sound.
Kofi knew he would return to her, to the savannah, but for now a new chapter awaited. The transition to human life was not easy. The noise, the crowds, the constant stimulation of the city overwhelmed Kofi.
I missed the open sky, the scent of the earth after rain, the comforting presence of Nala.
He struggled with simple tasks, his movements clumsy, his words halting. Yet he persevered, driven by an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. He learned to read, to write, to navigate the complexities of human interaction. Section 7. Finding my voice. Kofi's story, once he learned to articulate it, captivated the world. His unique upbringing, his intimate knowledge of lion behavior, his deep connection to the natural world, made him a sought-after speaker.
I spoke at schools, universities, international conferences. My message was simple yet profound. Respect for nature, conservation of wildlife, the interconnectedness of all living things.
Kofi's advocacy extended beyond words. He established a foundation dedicated to protecting lions and their habitat. He worked with local communities, promoting sustainable practices, educating them about the importance of wildlife conservation.
I became a bridge between two worlds, a voice for the voiceless.
Section 8. A bridge between worlds. Despite his success, Kofi never forgot where he came from. He returned to the savannah as often as he could, to the place he still called home.
Nala, older now, her muzzle dusted with gray, would greet me with a rumbling purr, her amber eyes filled with unwavering love. We would spend hours together, walking side by side, our bond unbreakable.
Kofi's visits were not just sentimental journeys. He continued to study lion behavior, his insights proving invaluable to researchers. He became an expert tracker, helping to monitor lion populations, identify threats, and implement conservation strategies.
I dedicated my life to ensuring the harmonious coexistence of both worlds.
In Section 9, The Call of the Wild, Kofi's story resonated with people from all walks of life. He became a symbol of resilience, of adaptation, of the extraordinary bond that can exist between humans and animals.
My message transcended cultural and geographical boundaries, reminding people of their responsibility to protect the planet and its inhabitants.
Kofi's life, though unconventional, was a testament to the power of love, compassion, and understanding. He had faced extraordinary challenges, overcome adversity, and emerged as a beacon of hope.
My story is a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, continuing to inspire generations.
Section 10. A Legacy of Harmony. Kofi lived a long and fulfilling life, dedicated to bridging the gap between humans and the natural world. He never forgot the lessons learned from Nala, the wisdom of the wild, the importance of balance.
My legacy lives on in the hearts of those I touched, in the work of my foundation, in the ongoing efforts to protect lions and their habitat.
Kofi's story serves as a powerful reminder that even in the face of tragedy, hope can bloom. It highlights the importance of empathy, of understanding, of our interconnectedness with all creatures.
It is a story that continues to inspire, reminding us that the human spirit, like nature itself, is capable of remarkable resilience and enduring love.